Appreciate y'all being here. It was a great win, and good to get a win against a good ranked opponent in Austin Peay. I think that's going to be a fun game as we both move forward in the ASUN football conference, and excited about them joining our conference next year. But felt like our kids came out and played physical, had a lot of spirit, played with great spirit, and did a lot of really good things, made some plays, both offense, defense, and played solid on special teams. We got to continue to get better there, but really pleased with how we played. Really pleased with our student section coming out, Maroon Platoon, and being loud and proud for us, and then the fans that we had. Another great atmosphere for us here in Richmond and at EKU. We're excited about where we're going with our game day atmosphere and everything. Looking forward to a great homecoming week with no distractions, and Tarleton State coming into town. It'll be the first time we've played them. And so just learning a lot about them over the summer and through this fall. Really good football team. Quarterback is a good player. He's a transfer from Western Kentucky. We know a little bit about him from his days down there from some of our players and some people that we know down there. But he's a good player. He's a big, strong arm, can make all the throws. Does a great job. The offensive line's good. They've got some speed on the edge on the offense. Defensively, they're a 4-down team. They've got, on all three levels, they've got, good players. And so we're gonna have a tall task. And they're another, like I said, good football team. And they played in the spring, and then they turn around and played in the fall. So look forward to them to welcoming them to Richmond and EKU. And with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Coach, in the grand scheme of things, with you defeating a ranked team, with the crowd continuing to roll in, how important was that win on Saturday?
Well, I think, I don't think you put any importance on any game more than what it is. I understand where you got to go with that, and I understand where in the grand scheme of things we do. But, for us, we just try to look at the team that we're playing. And then really we try to look at us and make sure that we're playing the way we should be playing. And I know that's coach speak, and that's not popular and all that, but that we have to get consistent. And if you're going to be consistent, then that's what you have to do. You just worry about the team that's on the schedule next. And sure, it was any win's big, and because they're hard to get. And I just think, that game was a fun game. I think it was great for our fans to watch. I think it was an entertaining game. I think two teams went out there and battled and played hard and played physical, and our guys made the plays to win the game, and credit goes to them. But no disrespect to Austin Peay, who's a really good football team, done some good things. So, I just think I don't care if we, would have beat Louisville or Indiana State. They're all the same to me. I enjoy the win. From really, everybody says 24 hours, but the way we practice is 36 hours to 40, and then it's time to move on. And we flushed it yesterday about 4 o'clock, and we went out and had a good practice, and I'm really pleased with how our guys are responding.
The pick six right before the half, not just the fact that it was returned for touchdown, but that seemed to turn the momentum over the next quarter and a half. Is that the play of the year so far, you think?
Very well could be, Brian. I'm not going to sit there and be able to say that right now, but Davion's playing at a high level. He really is. He played there all last year. Didn't want to play there last year. I think he was half-hearted into it last year a little bit until he started having some success, and then it started rolling with him a little bit, and then he started learning how to play. And now I think he's full-hearted into being a corner, loving it. It's a great play, but Matt Jackson, if he doesn't make the block, it ain't going nowhere, which is fine. I think we still could have scored, but I just like how that whole thing screams team. Matt sees him get it, gets the guy off of him, and then he's got the speed. And as you watch the defense, they expect him to score now. They know when he gets the ball in his hand, he can run. And so I just think, yes, it turned that game around. It gave us momentum going into the locker room. We talk about winning the middle 8, which is the last 4 and the first 4. And so we felt like we did that, although we didn't do it as quickly as we wanted to in the second half with the 3 and out, but then we got them out and came back and scored the very next session. So, I think when it comes to scores, we did, and it gave our team life, I think, momentum, kept them from driving down and potentially going up 20 to 7 or maybe even 24 to 7. So Pleased with how we're playing defense right now. And Davion's playing at a high level. Obviously, he's the ASUN Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, and Coach, what you like about your offense? Keep the ball moving down the field. Parker and Hewitt, good connection there to get the ball rolling. So what do you like about the offense to, kind of keep the pressure on to them?
Well, I've been harping on it for a while, and we didn't rush for 200 or 300 yards, but they do a lot of stemming and a lot of internal blitzing with their run fits and everything. And I thought our O-line really picked it up well for the most part all day. We didn't have too many negative runs except for when we tried to get some pin and pull stuff outside. Excuse me. And so I felt like that was a big improvement from week 1, 2, and 3 for us. And they've got to continue to do that because teams are still going to continue to run blitz us and create movement up front. But they really did a nice job of picking that up. And then DeJohn's getting more and more comfortable back there running the football. Parker's playing at a high level. We've had a mixed bag of receivers and tight ends and everybody. Malik didn't play last week. Mo's still out, last week, and just things like that. So he's learning who he can go to. Matt Wilcox is Mr. Reliable. He's always there. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to catch the good one right across the middle and make a great play. And then we had Jaden Higgins step up, make a huge play down the field. So, I feel like our, Jaden Smith scored. Jaron Mitchell, name y'all probably don't even know, who really struggled some early and then has really come on and practiced well the last 2 or 3 weeks. And, he got paid for it. And that was probably the most, I don't know, Jaden Higgins was a pretty good contested catch, but Jaron's was a contested catch too, because he got hit hard right there. Guy was going for the ball. He had strong hands, made the play, had the balance to score. So, excited about what we can be. We got to get more consistent and we got to continue to get better there, but looking forward to see how we progress as the season goes on.
Coach, my question kind of leans in with that too. You look at the way the running game, it took a little while to get going. So talk about the importance of sticking with the run game, especially with how Parker's playing, because he's, as you said, he's playing at a high level. So to stick to that ground game and eventually it paid off for you.
Well, I was told a long time ago, and Andy knows this, Andy Richmond, our offensive coordinator, the run game's like Novocaine. Just give it a second. It's going to work. And you got to continue to, Leon Hart told me that when I came here, just continue to work with it and let those boys eat a little bit. And they got to figure it out. Sometimes they come with a new run blitz or a new this or a new that. Maybe one of them's eggs wasn't that good this morning, and they're a little cranky and they got to get going, and just all kinds of factors go into that. So we stayed with it and kept feeding DeJohn, and I thought he did a great job of finding the holes and being patient. They're getting their rhythm together, and I think you can see that. And we've got a stable of backs. Keandre McGlure's a really good back. Braden Sloan and Jariah Hightower, they're all good backs. So we're excited about our backfield.
I've got 2 things. First off, you had so many recruits there this weekend. What does that mean to get a win in front of them as you continue to try to build this program? And then after that, if you talk about the guys that, having 3 guys ASUN recognized, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's huge for us to let people know that, a lot of those were in-state players. A lot of them were from, Tennessee and Ohio, where we also are going to be heavy in recruiting. And obviously can't say any names or anything, but to have that many people interested in coming and seeing what we're doing tells you, what our assistant coaches are doing in the state. I think they've done a great job of connecting to the high school coaches. I think Gary McPeak's done a great job of reaching out to people and doing that. I think, in the Ohio area, the Cincinnati, the Dayton, and those areas, our coaches are doing well. I've got strong ties in Tennessee and have for 20 some odd years of recruiting. And, we're always going to have players from down there. So I think it just lets everybody know, hey, there's something going on out there. There's a buzz right now, whether it's good or bad, whether it's wins or loss, they didn't know. And then to come up and see, a ranked team, us, play well against them and win the game. I think it lets them know that, where the direction, is headed in our program. Now, are we going to be perfect? No. I mean, we could, we got to continue to build it and do things. But I think they saw the atmosphere, the new turf, the new stuff, the fans are involved. I just think it helps sell our program and our university and let them know, hey, EKU's not far from all those places. And there's a lot going on. The second question, I'm trying to remember it because I got Wow. Oh, the ASUN guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's huge for us because, there's some, Jacksonville's a ranked team, Central Arkansas is a ranked team, and then there's us. And, for us to pull off that win and our guys play the way they played and be recognized in that fact, I think that says a lot to the culture that we're trying to build here. I'm not going to say it's complete yet, but, I think it talks to the buy-in to those guys and the buy-in that we have more than just, Matt Jackson, who's an All-American, more than just Parker McKinney, who we always talk about. You got Davion, who's back-to-back games have had a pick six. And then you've got Phil. Phil felt bad for everybody last week in his mistake, but he came back this week and punted the ball extremely well and did some really good things. And then you got Dejon, who's freshman of the year, or week, excuse me. He played hard. He plays with an edge, and we like that. So I think that just shows you the talent we got. I think we got some more guys that should be getting that soon, hopefully. But, we really don't think about those things. It was great for them. But we think about the team, obviously, and those guys do too.
I wanted to ask you this, and coaches in general. The way you get onto officials to make them think about things that you see, where is that fine line to not go too much, but to get your point across?
I'll be honest. I think I'm trying to figure that out. I think I go to the fine line, and for me, the line's thick, and it's you're competitive. It's not I think as soon as you go personal, you've gone wrong. I never go personal. I know all about them, and I may talk to them about themselves. I had the guy at the ACC when I was playing Louisville. He told me, he said, "You write your own material," and I said, "No, I just think about it and say it." And he said, "This is the best I've ever been around." And and he coached in the Rose Bowl, Oklahoma, and Georgia, or reffed in the Rose Bowl. So I don't try to intimidate them. I just try to make sure that they understand that we see these things. Why don't you see them? And why don't you call them if they're there? And they're human. I talked to Matt Young, the head of our officials, this week, and we turned in, after a win, we turned in some, and we were right on some, and more than some. And Matt, I understand they're human and they're going to make a mistake. I really do understand that. I just don't want it to cost us a ball game. That's the only thing. There's going to be, you can call holding on every play. Just like I told Matt, I said, it seems like we get the holding call and nobody else ever gets it. I don't understand that because, when I was involved in the offensive line play in the SEC for 4 years. Well, they throw that thing in the second quarter, usually boom, boom, and get it over with. And all right, we threw 2 flags. We're here. See you later. Y'all go play. And, I'm okay with that if that's how it's going to be, but don't let it be one way sometimes. And I'm not, I don't know if there's a fine or not by the ASUN or not, but I don't want that. I don't need that. My wife would kill me. But I just know sometimes that there is, mistakes made. I'm good with that. I just want to alert you to it and make sure you understand that. We're all human. I make mistakes. Our players we all make mistakes. I get it. And they're good people. We actually had them here this summer for 2 days. They did 2 scrimmages or 2 practices for us. They talked to the team. They talked to the staff. They went to dinner with us, the whole 9 yards, just trying to make sure they understand. We don't hate them. But I also try to let them guys know that, hey, these guys are doctors, lawyers, teachers, professionals, not just officials. Y'all got a busy week. Don't forget about us down here. I know Keeneland's open. I know Florida and all that crap, but hey, man, don't forget about us. I mean, I'm all for it. I hope Mark and them get after them, but don't forget about us.
Zack, I just want to ask you a kind of unconventional, but to talk about the defense and what that did for you on Saturday for you guys offensively.
They really fired us up, honestly. Them getting them huge turnovers for us, getting that pick six right before halftime. I mean, it gave us a lot of confidence coming out of half to get the ball moving and get it rolling and start that running game back up. I mean, but the defense really held their own Saturday, and it helped us out a lot.
Yeah, Zach. So talk about the offensive line. What's been working well for you guys on the offensive line to protect Parker from, being rushed and sacked?
We've done a pretty good job at communicating in our predictions and everything. I feel like we've done a good job all year keeping Parker clean and, not getting hit and stuff. So I feel like we've done a good job communicating, which has helped us a lot in the long run.
When you look at I guess the coaching history for Coach Wells, he's obviously had experience with the offensive line. Does he have a lot of communication with you guys, or does he kind of on game day just let the offensive line coach handle you guys?
Usually on game day, he's chill. He lets the offense line coach do his job. But during practice, he'll come over and help us out and everything. I mean, he just usually some head coaches, they just they're not really involved, but he comes over there and helps us out all the time.
When you look at the different running backs that you guys have, do you work with each one of them pretty frequently, or is it just the guys that take the first team reps for the most part?
We work with all of them majority of the time. I mean, I feel like they all get equal reps, but we try to focus on ourselves, communicating up front. That way, they have clear holes to run through. I mean, it all starts up front with us because we got to make the holes.
Zack, what was the atmosphere like on Saturday? Did you notice it? Or was it, just run out and play, or did you kind of notice how different it was?
Well, we tried not to worry about the fans and all the atmosphere. Got to keep them blinders on, You can't really let, the distractions get to us and all that. So we just try to focus on ourselves. But, I mean, you could definitely tell there was an atmosphere,